Hi everyone, this is Radull Live. Thanks for joining us. Now I am excited this weekend because it is World Cup final weekend. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. we have France versus Argentina. We will see who will ultimately be crowned the champions of the world tomorrow. So make sure you watch that game. Now I'm also excited because Eli Kipruto-Rotich, yes, remember that name. He is 200 million shillings richer because he placed a stake, a bet on Betika.com, and he has won the Betika Mega Jackpot. Yes, it's just 49 shillings to place your stake on 17 matches. That is exactly what Eli Kipruto-Rotich did, and now he is 200 million shillings richer. And of course, so many other people got amazing bonuses from last week's Mega Jackpot. Now, allow me to introduce today's guest on Radull Live, Brian Dida. He prides himself in being the youngest coach of football, cricket and rugby here in Kenya. So, Brian, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah. Actually, the youngest coach in the country. What does that mean?
No, in Kenya.
In Kenya?
Yeah.
See, Kenya is the country.
Yeah.
So what do you coach?
I coach football, cricket and tennis.
Football, cricket and tennis, which means that you are somewhat a professional in all these sports. I want us to go back to the beginning. Brian, when did you get into sport and how come you decided to excel in so many sports?
Yeah, so I decided to be in sport when I was in primary. I usually play. I studied I'm from Nairobi here. So actually while in primary, I used to play soccer.
You can speak up a bit. I'm sure that's not how you speak to your people. I'm sure you shout.
Yeah, I shout. But when I was in primary, I usually play football, and I took it from there. Then after high school, things changed. I didn't go to university or college. I just played football everywhere. So I was taken by someone called Vir at Starfield. I used to work as a cleaner actually. Yeah, before
at Starfield.
No, at Gymkhana.
Oh.
I used to work at Gymkhana as a cleaner. So there's a boy who was training, and the coach of Starfield was late. So I had to at least train him because I had that passion. It was my lunchtime break. So I coached the boy, and Vir was looking at me from far. So he approached me and said, "Coach Dida, you can do this. So come in, I take you." So
and this was in football at the time?
Yeah, it was only football.
How did you get into cricket? Of course, the word Gymkhana is more synonymous with cricket than with football.
Yeah, in Gymkhana there are many sports. There's football, there's cricket, there's squash, the indoor games. So cricket was easy for me because my company there, it was like Indians were almost my friends. So I was sitting there just watching the game. And the game, it takes 3 hours. It's a long.
Yes.
Yeah. And okay, some people think it's boring, but it's not boring. It's a very...
Hey, I'm a cricket fan, so I'm not amongst those who think it's boring. 3 hours, that means that's 20 over cricket. Not 50, yes. So because 50 takes 7 hours. Now that one is a bit boring.
Yeah. So from there, when I started watching, it came interesting, and at least I started learning some basic things. So yeah, from there it changed everything. Everything changed. But
cricket and football is so different. How were you talented in both? How did you even have time to train both?
Actually, we were playing. Sometimes we were playing friendlies, especially in cricket. In cricket, we were playing friendlies with another team. Other teams. So I used to just to be there fielding. Sometimes I just take the ball. I do bowling. So from there, things changed, and I just found interest in cricket, but not that much. My interest was in football.
But somewhere along the way, you also learned how to play tennis.
Yeah, tennis was easy because, as I said, in Gymkhana.
It's easy.
No, in Gymkhana there are many sports.
Yeah. So
my sessions, let's say I had only 3 sessions, so I can have in the morning. I have morning sessions. After morning, I'm free. The other sessions maybe it's in the evening. Yeah. So during this time I was bored, so I used to go and at least play with the kids, play with the coaches. At least I found interest in them. So
you learned tennis.
Yeah.
At what point did you decide you can coach all these sports? Because it's one thing to play. I can't play cricket, but I can play a lot of sports. But coaching is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. I found interest because, at the moment I found interest because there were kids who, kids are different. So some kids want to play football, cricket, tennis. So at least I try to balance and give the kids what they want, because at the end of the day, it's you to guide them, or it's me to guide them. So, yeah.
Were you professionally trained to coach any of these?
Oh, okay.
Or it's just picking it up because you can do it?
Okay, to be sincere, I just picked up. Then along the way, I had to go back to school of coaching. So now I'm in grade D, and I'm supposed to go to grade C.
That's which sport?
Coaching. Generally just coaching.
Oh, there's some courses for general coaching.
Yeah, you need to have certificates.
Yeah, you do.
So
if you want to take it to the next level.
Next level, yeah. So now I'm D. Now next I'm looking forward to go to C level. Then after C I go B, then A, then the Guardiola.
And does it end at those three sports? Cricket, tennis, and football? Are there other sports as well?
Yeah, I just only do that, but mostly I do football. I do football. Even the studies, my studies, it's all about football.
Yeah. What are you doing now?
Now I'm based in Eldoret. I coach in a school called Hatton Grange. Even its academy is Hatton Grange Football Academy. So it's in Eldoret. It's a new thing there, because because in Eldoret there are no academies, because if someone hears you're going to Eldoret, it's about running marathon. So
that's what we know Eldoret for.
Yeah, so there is no academies.
Home of champions.
Yeah, home of champions. There's no academy there. So at least I started with 20 kids. Now I have 70 plus kids. So yeah, we are doing good, and actually we are in a tournament. So, and my boys are unbeaten at the moment. Yeah.
What age group do you train?
Under 8, 10, 13, and 20.
A lot of the times we say that the problem with this country is that we don't groom the youth professionally in sport. How important is it? How important do you see what it is that you do in terms of what we can then contribute to the professional leagues and professional teams?
Yeah, it is important because these kids, if you groom them while they are young, that means when they grow up, things will be going well, and that's where we Kenyans, we are lacking the academies or the momentum to keep these boys going, because if you see now, there's no academies in Kenya, and it's very sad. We have a lot of talent.
You're saying there are no academies and you work for one?
Yeah, actually, what I'm saying is about professional academies. Where I say Kenya Academy, let's say for under 20s, under 8s, not only Nairobi, at least even we go up country there, we go inside Mashinani, call them Mashinani, we go, because there is a lot of talent. There's
a lot of talent all over the country.
Yeah, so we need to invest in academies. It's very important. Academies, we need to invest in them so that we can make work easy in terms of football. Not even football alone, even cricket, tennis, rugby. So I think that is what we are lacking as a country. We don't have many academies. So
the academy where you work, is it a school as well?
Yeah.
So it's a school that also focuses on sport.
Yeah, it focuses on sport, and the bosses there are really supporting the sports. Yeah.
How do they fund themselves? Because I'm assuming it's not a government school.
Yeah, it's an international school.
Oh, it's an international school.
Yeah,
So
international.
the fees is high. No, but it's a good thing if people have professional academies at that level, where sport is taken more seriously. What's the balance between sport and schoolwork in the academy?
We have lessons that go Monday to Saturday and Monday to Friday. Sorry, so football is on Saturdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays again is football. So, but it's after school. So you find we have other peoples or other players coming from different schools. They come manage the time.
But then it's not really a sport academy.
It is a sports academy.
It's not a sports academy. A sports academy, in fact, they would do schoolwork maybe till lunchtime and then really focus on the sport, because sport comes first. But if you're still playing after school, that's even my primary school. We didn't have afternoon. We did sport in the afternoon.
No, this is different because, as I said, this is international school.
But you're still doing sport in your spare time after class
in
the evening.
But that's not part of the academy. Academy usually runs on Saturdays, but when the school are closed, so they can come. And we have many students out of the school, not even in the school. We have different people
who come and train.
Yeah, who come and train.
I guess it's a Kenyan form of academy, but trust me, it's not a real academy. A real academy, they go to school half day and they play sport half day. But I think the way you're saying, they take sport a little more seriously than Kenyan schools.
There's even drums. There's even drums. There's golf. So there are many sports there. And not only football.
So there's lots of sport.
Yeah, a lot of sports.
Is it when you say it's because by the time you say it's an international school, it means the way the students are selected as well, it's based on whether your parents can afford to pay. Let's be honest. Or your boss is watching. Hey, I was in an international school. Trust me, they're not cheap. Your parents have to be able to pay. But the problem with that is that you then can't accommodate the most talented students because they can't afford to come. Or is there a program that accommodates them?
Yeah, there's a program. We have 4 people who are trained, who we sponsor them. So we accommodate all players. Okay, like I said, it's not only Hatton peoples who can play football. We have other people from outside.
Other talents.
Yeah, other talent. And there is affordable price.
You charge them less school fees?
Yeah, less. Not even school fees. Less registrations, but it's less. You cannot charge them like the other guys. Yeah.
Who do you play your tournaments against? Other schools?
Yeah, other schools. For now, since it's a starting thing there, we are playing with other schools. We formed a tournament against 8 schools. CTAM, Green Park, Premier. So we play against each other.
And how do you fare? How does your school fare?
Good.
What is good? You win.
Yeah, I win. Anyway, how I wish one day you can come there and watch them. Actually, I have a match on Saturday against CTAM. And it's a derby actually. So
you're inviting me to LD?
Yeah, you come to Eldoret.
I've been to Eldoret last year and I played. I went for golf. But I didn't play, I just went and did my mouth. Brian, I want to take a break, then I want to talk about generally these different sports in Kenya in terms of professional football, professional tennis, where it's going, professional cricket. Cricket, I think, is on its deathbed, even though we were supposed to be reviving it.
No, there's a friend of mine who was training cricket. I saw them, they did well, under 20s. They're from Gymkhana, yeah. You know, Gymkhana is where Kenya team is.
It's a home of cricket. It's a home of cricket, I know it. I've actually played an amateur tournament there and I was beaten because I can't play. So I'm just going to take a short break. When we come back, let's talk about the actual industries in Kenya, not just at school level, but at professional level. So we'll take a short break here on Radull Live. Don't go away. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back. This is Radull Live. I am with the youngest coach in Kenya. So he calls himself Brian Dida Anami. Brian, how old are you, first of all?
27.
You're 27?
Yep.
And you said you've been coaching for 2 years?
Now I've been coaching for like, now it's fifth year. Yeah.
Or 5 years?
5 years, yeah.
So you were the youngest when you started?
Very.
And you're a coach of football, cricket and tennis, just to remind each other. I'm reading here that some of the highlights of your career is you coached several teams to a championship, Premier Academy men's, women's teams, to carry the under-17 titles. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was my first tournament as a coach.
When was it?
Premier school. I can't remember when it is. I'm very bad in...
Several years ago.
Yeah, I'm very poor in remembering. So, but I was in Premier school. I was taken with Stafford. That time I was under Stafford Academy. So I was there as their coach. Yeah, and I made history. I think I made history because we went unbeaten, and we took the champion.
So you won the under-17 title in which sport? So it was
football,
generally
in football. Yeah.
And it was men and women's teams.
No, it was it was men only because that tournament is called Kaiso. It's based on international schools. Yeah.
So you came out tops.
Yeah.
So you're a lethal guy. I see here you played for Safaricom before you left for China. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I played for Safaricom. In primary, while studying primary there, I studied in Mugba Green next to primary. Next to Safaricom, sorry. So Safaricom guys used to come there and train. And me, I was in class 8 or 7. People were going home, I stayed behind training with those big guys. So from there, at least, being around those guys in a mature way, I think I grew mentally, at least. It was good.
And then you went to China. Tell me about China. What happened in China?
I went to China for only a year. My cousin was there. He took me, and I did studies for like 8 months. Coaching doesn't last for long. It's only
the courses are not that long.
Yeah, not that long. So I did the course. So then I came back, but it was it's a good experience. So I learned a lot from there. Football nowadays has changed. It's not like a long time ago. You say man to man. Nowadays football is about brain.
You have to have a football brain. What do you aspire to do and to be? Where do you think this coaching career is taking you?
On my side, I want to be like Pep Guardiola. He really inspires me so much.
That's why you're wearing that horrible jersey.
Not really. Yeah, Pep Guardiola really inspires me, and how he coaches, it's really good. Football is another level. Like, I want to bring that here in Kenya. Through these kids, I want to bring it, because, we don't want that football of every time running. We want a football which when someone is watching, even if you get defeated, but you enjoy. At least
you're entertained.
Yeah, you're entertained. At least you say, I've seen something there. So I want that here.
When you look at our football industry, what do you think is hampering it from growing? Right now we are in the middle of confusion.
Okay, the only problem in Kenya, it's been a long problem ever since, is the academy. As long as you have a good foundation, everything will go. Because that's where we are. At least we are going. We are not up there, because that makes difference as with the other guys who are outside the country.
So development of talent.
Yeah, development. We should have that foundation from down, because when you have that foundation from down, everything up there will be good.
In terms of, because I like the way you're thinking, you want to be like Pep, you want to groom the youth, but you also seem a little bit naive, and don't take this badly, that the problems in Kenyan football, because someone like you should be, you're lucky you're working for an international school, but most people in the game can't even pay rent, you've been given a flight from LD because your boss likes you. But that's not the football scene in Kenya. Here we have footballers who work extremely hard, they don't get paid, there's no money in the game. So the problems of our football, as much as yes, we have to develop talent, are much bigger, or you don't see that from where you sit?
No, I see it because I've been there. Because I remember I trained in 2012. I was selected under 20. We went for trials, and bad thing, we were not selected. Other players came the last day, and we were dropped. So, okay, I had a friend there, and now if you see him, it's just horrible. So, I get the youth out there. So, what I can say is about the government, at least to step up. At least we have a lot of talent. We give some youths. Okay, not only me. Maybe someone is watching. He's young. He wants to be a coach. I know he can do it, but in the right structure, if you have the right structure in Kenya, you can do it. So, what I can say generally, I think the government needs to step up, at least invest in sports, because sports
invest in sports. At least we have a Babu Namwamba making us promises.
Yeah, because sports is very good. It's a very unique thing. At least it pays a lot.
And I'm sure from where you sit, you're training young kids.
Yeah.
And it would be nice if some of those young kids could grow up to be professional footballers, tennis players, cricket players. But I'm sure where their parents sit, they're like, you better study hard and get a job in an office, you know?
Yeah, it's really challenging. Actually, I have a boy who is now in City Stars. It's called Amodi. He was taken, so I'm proud of him. So it's really challenging.
You trained him?
Yeah, I trained him at Starfield. Then I left. So, but he's doing good. He's at Nairobi City Stars. Yeah. So the challenge we have as coaches, the kids, because you have maybe there's a player who is really talented, but the mom or the dad, you need to study so much. So.
And realistically so, because at the end of the day, you want your child to be able to pay their own rent by the time they graduate, you know.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us, football is not what it is around the world. You can't really pay your bills unless you get a good coaching job, which most can't.
Yeah, true. So what I can say is that the parents need to have faith, just push their kids, at least, because they have a lot of talent.
They could be the next Olunga, the next Wanyama.
They could. You never know, you know. Everyone has his or her own story. So,
apart from Pep, let's come to Kenya. Who do you admire in football?
Kimanzi.
Francis Kimanzi.
Yeah, he really inspires me.
Amazing human. He actually sat on that chair, so you can and told us about his frustrations with Kenyan football as well. Yeah,
it's really challenging. Kenya, we have in general. We just have to go back to the drawing board. We have to go back because we have a lot of talent. If you see in Eldoret, the talent is there. Gosh, it's really special to see a kid controlling that ball, passing, or maybe scoring and going to celebrate like Cristiano or like Mbappe.
Yeah.
Or hugging each other. It's really something special.
And it's like that around the country, the entire country. Yeah. Talents like that. Cricket, who do you look up to in cricket?
Cricket, I look to my former boss, who was called Veer. He played for Kenya, but now he's not playing. He's a coach, so he really inspired me. At least he taught me something cricket 1, 2, 3. So, yeah.
And internationally, do you have an international cricket idol?
Yeah, Virat Kohli.
I was going to say Virat Kohli.
yeah, Virat Kohli.
Yeah, but from a women's perspective, I just think he's very nice on the eye. But he's an amazing player.
Yeah, he's an amazing player.
Tennis, who do you look up to in tennis?
Now, since I'm a coach and I'm coaching young players, I'm looking at Angela. It's called Angela.
Angela Kutoi. She also sat here last year. Amazing little girl, young girl.
Yeah, she really inspired me. And at least she really inspired other youths, at least.
In fact, if you follow Tennis Kenya, you'll realize we have a lot of tennis talent in this country. It's just that we're focusing on Angela because of what she's achieved, but we actually do really well on the continent in tennis. And tennis is one of those federations that's managed to have age groups under 12, under 14, under 16, and I'm seeing the next Angela in the next 2-3 years, if it even takes that long.
Yeah,
and I guess that's what we need to replicate for other sports.
Yeah, we need to. As long as there's support from the government and us coaches, even coaches need to step up. Not coaches only, even parents. So.
But everyone needs to step up. You need to step up. You should not be wearing Manchester City. They don't need you to brand them. You should be wearing the jersey of your academy where you work. Huh? That's what you should be doing, because take every opportunity to market yourself, market where you work, market the Kenyan sport. Yeah. I'm wearing Soccer Sisters. This is a team here in Kawangware, you know. So we also have work to do, as much as we say Serekali's idea.
Yeah, true.
Even us, we have to do our own branding, our own marketing, and be out there.
Yeah.
What message do you have for the youth like yourself? Because it's very unusual to see a coach this young. Mostly they play, then when they finish at 30-something, they go into coaching, if they can.
What I can tell the youth out there is that they should not give up. They should always trust themselves and work hard and believe themselves, and always keep God or Allah
Number one.
Number
Brian, Dida, Anami, thank you.
Yeah, our coach Dida.
For coming on Radull Live. Any parting shots? Give your boss a shout out, because he'll say he paid for you to come all this way and you didn't give him props. Actually, you did.
My boss was called Mr. Miten, or Sir Miten. Thank you, Mr. Ronald. I have many friends, very many friends who told me to give shout outs. So I love you so much.
The show is only 30 minutes.
So I love you so much, guys.
You've not even done your mom, your dad?
Yeah, my mom, my dad, my grandma, who is always my shoulder. My grandma was always my dad and my mom. I love you so much. And my sister. And
we're out of time. But how has your family taken your choice of career?
It was tricky. It was very tricky, because, you know, it was like I was getting myself in a tricky situation, because, as I told you, I didn't go to college or university, so I was in a risk position. If I do it, it's fine. If I don't do it, then I'll drop. So I just went with my guts and I said, let me do this.
But they must be proud of you, because I mean, you started by telling us you were a cleaner at Gymkhana.
Yeah, I was a cleaner.
But look at you now. You grabbed an opportunity right in front of you, and I guess that's what your fellow youth can learn from this discussion. Yeah? Grab the opportunity in front of you.
Yeah, just grab it.
Yeah? Brian, thank you for coming on Radull Live. I wish you all the best.
Thank
I
you so
wish
much.
your boss and your academy all the best.
Thank you
and
so
hopefully
much.
some of your dreams can come true. And we'll be saying Brian Dida, aka Pep.
Yeah, they call me Pep Guardiola in Eldoret.
They call you Pep Guardiola in Eldoret.
Yeah, I always wear the big coats. The big coats that Pep Guardiola puts on. So.
No, you just need to win a Champions League or 5. Guys, thanks for watching Radull Live. I hope you young ones have learned something from Brian, a young athlete. You are an athlete, sports person, coach, grabbing every opportunity in front of him and seeing opportunities that lie ahead. Thank you for watching Radull Live. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.